Like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below. Universal coverage for COVID continues for Thais. Changes to COVID testing for tourists. Oil leak repairs underway but damage to Rayong beaches. And will fuel prices rise here in Thailand? This morning, Thursday, the CCSA reported 23,557 new cases of COVID around the nation during a 24-hour period. And these only the numbers that have been reported to the authorities. 16,131 people are said to have recovered and been released from quarantine in the same period. Plans proposed by the Health Ministry to amend free treatment for Thais catching COVID have been nixed by the government, seeing the postponement of the removal of COVID from the list of conditions covered by universal healthcare, which is the national insurance program for Thais, and was expected to go into effect at the start of next week. However, as numbers rise dramatically here, albeit of the milder Omicron type, the government insisted on the continuation of the free treatment for all. Fully vaccinated arrivees here in Thailand will no longer be required to re-quarantine for a day and take a second PCR test following a meeting of the CCSA yesterday. From March the 1st, visitors will simply need to take a self-test, an ATK. Alongside the drop of the second quarantine program, the requirement for medical coverage is reduced for tourists from $50,000 to $20,000. Yesterday saw Khon Kaen authorities ban alcohol sales even in eateries and cancel any events seeing more than 50 people come together. The province-wide order, which includes so-called blue areas, is as a result of the rising COVID counts there. Despite Omicron being far weaker in its effect on those who catch it, remaining for most only in the upper respiratory tract, the number of patients in hospitals is rising, mainly of those who are older or have pre-existing conditions which are exacerbated by the virus. Escalating issues between Russia and the Ukraine are causing concern amongst the business sector here, as many predict an uncontrollable rise in fuel prices in Thailand. World prices for Brent crude oil have hit an 8-year high, close to $98 a barrel, and as a net fuel importer, Thailand can't avoid the rises. Recent tax relief on diesel has seen consumer prices in stores and businesses remain stable here. However, further rises can't be ignored as a serious possibility, as tax rates on fuel here are low anyway, leaving the government without any considerable leeway in controlling prices at the pumps. On the positive side, the renewed relationship between Thailand and Saudi may see some favourable terms for Thai oil imports despite the global rises. Beleaguered Star Petroleum, mainly owned by Chevron, is being held responsible for continued contamination of Rayong beaches and the ocean area along the shoreline. Tests indicate petrol hydrocarbon rates at close to 4 times the so-called safe level in some areas, especially at Mae Rumpung Beach. Teams from Japan have been called in by the company to fix the remaining leaks in the line, which still contains close to 12,000 litres of crude oil, but, we're told, is safe from major leakage as pressures within the pipeline have been managed. Reality is that the Thai Royal Navy has deployed divers to assist and oversee the clean-up and repair operation. The annual Cobra Gold military exercise has begun here in Thailand, seeing a meagre combined 3,500 military from Thailand and overseas. As the world watches the Russian-Ukraine crisis, it's not expected that US military will be allowed shore leave in any way, seeing downtime spent aboard ships. Still the largest multinational military exercise globally, Cobra Gold ends on March the 4th. Meanwhile, at home and in our own region, Chonburi Province reported 1,250 new cases this morning, 194 in Chonburi City, 471 in Sriracha, 284 in Banglamung, and 56 in Sattahip. The Pattaya Music Festival, promised as a regular event, has been shelved due to the national rise in COVID cases. City Hall is taking the safe approach, as any major event here would simply encourage additional domestic tourism, which, whilst good for business, would inevitably lead to higher case counts here. The cancellation is a part of an increased effort by City Hall to retain social distancing, and a clampdown on some clubs and former bars is also in effect. Good news for music fans, as a visit to his bedside found national music legend Lam Morrison still in a serious condition, but far better than a few days ago. His illness, attributed to a blood issue, saw him kept in ICU since the start of the week. Both his daughters confirm that he's shown good signs of recovery but is being encouraged to sleep, as that's the best medicine. But visitors are not encouraged as he remains in ICU. And with the Met Office promising highs today of just 28 degrees, dropping down to a chilly 23, and a cloudy day with spots of sun. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or programme,